What's up, JoJo?
Langosta, it's been a minute, man.
Dude, we have stuff to cover. We've been off the camera, and we got to show some stuff to the guys.
What the heck have you been up to?
Dude, I've been gunning, and I went hunting. Got me on a little hog hunt in Florida. What have you been up to?
Oh, man, I've been up to, I don't have enough fingers to count what I've been up to, but we're talking about fishing trips. We're talking about banquets. We're talking about surf fishing tournaments, all kinds of stuff, man.
So you guys stay tuned and watch the show. We got lots to cover.
Here we go.
What's up, guys? Langosta and JoJo here.
How's it?
And we got another hot episode of Rifles, Rods, and Broads.
And I'll tell you what, it's been a minute, man.
You know, we've been incognito, we've been undercover, but we've been on some adventures.
We have been on some adventures, and we've got a lot more adventures to come and a lot more adventures to catch up on, because I think the last show that we had was our live show with Phil Friedman along with Paulina at the 78th Annual Redondo Rod and Gun Club Surf Fishing Tournament. So we're back in studio.
We're back in studio. We did a little field trip, and now we're back.
We're back. I missed you, man.
Man, I missed you too, JoJo.
Brian, I missed you too, Brian.
Thanks, man. Miss you guys too.
So we're going to be talking about some epic tuna fishing, and I've got a little fun stuff here on the table. Here we got we got some undercover. I'm keeping them warm so they don't get cold. It's cold steel.
Well, I can't wait, man. I had a sneak peek of that stuff, and I had all kinds of questions. So I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of questions kind of coming up.
So we're going to be talking about the original OG CCW guns of the 1860s.
That's crazy. When you told me what year that gun came from, I was like, "You got to be kidding me, man!"
Yeah. But well, let's not jump the gun. Let's talk about some epic trips that you've had lately.
Yeah. So I mean, since we kind of been on the show and we went live, there's been a lot of stuff going on for myself, along with you, along with us. One of the first things that kind of took place that we haven't talked about, and we'll just kind of shortly mention, is because we talked about it in previous podcasts, was the CWA event, the California Waterfowl Association event in Orange County. And that was great, man. You were supposed to be in that photo, so I was thinking about photoshopping you.
You should have. You should have AI'd me right in the middle there.
I could have. I would have just gone to my chat GPT and put Langosta into photo.
Yep, I had to go back to Florida, to the land of freedom.
Well, land of freedom, and there was also some action that you got going on there.
That's
when you were in Florida.
Yeah, man. A little hog hunt action. Hey, Brian, you don't have any of those pictures of the hog hunt, do you?
Brian's got pictures of everything. He's just got to scroll through the photo log and the group text and then find them.
Yes, I do have plenty of pictures. I can put them up on the screen here.
All right, so we'll share that with them in a little bit, because that adventure was really cool too, and I got to go with my dad, so that's always some fun times with him in the field. So you went well represented, heavily represented.
Oh man, we were
event.
heavily represented. So one of our club members, Chad, he is definitely big into the California Waterfowl Association, and we started last year. We purchased a table at the event in Orange County, and we had such a great time. So it was like literally 365 days waiting to go to the next event. And what eventually happened is that we ended up with 2 tables that night at the CWA event, and it is a fantastic event. Number one, there's a great dinner, there's great camaraderie, a great raffle prize that you can put in for, and the more money that you give, the more things that you get back. They give away a ton of guns, from handguns to shotguns.
So you guys actually got a couple guns, right?
We got a few, five amongst the 2 tables.
That's pretty cool.
Between raffle and auctions, 5 guns went home with the Redondo Rod and Gun Club. We try to bring the fun and join the fun that's already there, because there are a lot of people that go to that banquet. There are at least a few hundred people that were there. And obviously, the good thing about it is that you get to have a good time, but there's so much money that goes back into the California Waterfowl Association, who's out there preserving habitat, creating new habitat, really trying to protect the sport of hunting, especially when it comes to waterfowl.
Absolutely.
So that was great. And while you were supposed to go there, you kind of made a tangent and went to the panhandles.
Dude, my calendar skills is a disaster. I feel like my hamster falls off the rails at least twice a month. Here's the funny thing.
You booked like 3 different things.
I booked all of this stuff, and it was after you were talking about your trip to Maui or Misha's hunting adventures in Hawaii.
No, I think we were in Texas.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was one of those hunting trips where you had hogs on there, and I'm like thinking, man, I'm going to Florida. Where am I going to hunt some hogs in Florida? Yeah. And I found this guy, not Alligator Alcatraz, but Alligator Alley Outfitters. It's a legit place, and he does swamp hunts.
I remember we were recording an episode, and you literally booked it while I was here, and I was just like, I was looking at the dates, and I was like, Langosta, that's the dates of the banquet.
I think I fucked up. But I had already bought the trip. I had already bought the airline tickets and stuff to go back home.
That's hilarious. I was on the email. Hey guys, we got one extra extra seat at the table. Anybody interested?
I'm such a goofball, dude. So Brian, you've got this picture up on here. This is not a flattering picture of the hog. Apparently, when you shoot a hog in the head with 300 Win Mag, his eyes blow out. Yeah, it's not. Somebody was like, "Is he blinking?" I'm like, "Yeah, he fucking blinked already."
Yeah, he didn't get enough sleep. He had some sleep in his eye. He was a little bit tired from being the part of the exhibit, and then going from that to this.
So, funny side note about this hunt. So the outfitter, kind of
cool dude.
Super cool dude. Cool dude. But I guess he gets a lot of crazy yahoos going over there to hog hunt. He's like, "You got a hunting rifle?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "You got an AR?" I'm like, "No, it's not an AR." He's like, "You got a hunting rifle?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a hunting rifle. You want it's in the case, so you want to see it?" He's like, yeah, let me see that rifle. "Are you sure you don't have an AR?" I guess everybody shows up with a fucking AR and like a 30-round mag, and they start shooting it.
It's Florida, man.
I guess so. I can only say that his apprehension was based on the insanity that he's experienced, right?
Yeah,
not because he's
learned from experience.
From experience. So we go over all of these do's and don'ts. Hog hunting is hazardous to your health. Can we agree on that? Yes.
Sign your initials.
So it was this whole long thing of like, if you eat this meat, you could die. They have whatever fucking.
Did you ask him, what the fuck are you feeding this then?
So he's like, "Dude, these are wild hogs." I kind of start laughing, right? Because I've never signed a thing like that before. And he's like, "Well, look, dude."
Wait, so like literally it said that if you eat this meat,
you could die.
No shit.
Yeah, it had. He named the whatever shit the wild hogs can get. So I was like, "Hey, dude, like, has anybody ever died of eating this?" "Well, no, but I got to tell you in case you die." So I was like, "Okay."
Did you tell him, "Hey, I got a podcast"?
I was like,
"Yes."
So I did tell him. I kind of wanted just to just kind of fly under the radar a little bit and see what the thing was going to be like.
Yeah.
So.
And it wasn't that expensive too.
No, it was a shoot. It wasn't a hunt.
Yeah.
He's like, "Look, I can put you in the blind over there. You can roast your balls off for most of the day if you want to, or we can get in the buggy here and go shoot one over there." And I was like, "Okay, let's go shoot one over there. Let's get the buggy
over there."
So anyway, we go through this and like just insane type of waiver thing, and we get in the. So I'm like, "Can my dad?" I wanted my dad to hop on the buggy with me, and Brian pull up the buggy picture. So
and it was just you and your pops.
It was just me and him. Yeah. Dude, it's too crazy to try and get a bunch of people in there, and I just wanted to hang out with him. So
right.
This part of Florida is actually really pretty, bro. It's north of Okeechobee Lake. So there's like cypress forest, pine forest, kind of swampy, foresty type area, really, really cool. And he had 2 buggies. He had one buggy that we would go and shoot off of. And then he was another buggy, the beat up buggy, that he would throw the hog on. So this cat, like he had surgical gloves on. I don't know what the fuck he thinks these hogs have, right? But he won't touch the fucking thing. And then, so this is the nice buggy. So my dad sat there in the front, and I rode up in the back, holding out for dear life. And then the guide was the driver. And is there another picture? Oh, I must have not taken a picture of the other Jeep. The other Jeep is just kind of a beat up little Jeep thing, and kind of like a farm.
Made for putting pigs on top of it.
Yeah. So you can see the hogs had a lot of mud on them.
Mm-hmm.
There was literally a wallow, and there was a few of them that were in there. They were fucking covered in that shit. So after we took the pictures, we threw them back on the buggy, and he walked it over to the stainless steel table, and he pressure washed that motherfucker. Like, he legitimately washed every bit of mud off of the hog. And I had never seen anything like that. So by the time he started skinning it and doing the deal, it was clean. Like, it was super clean.
Yeah, just like you went to the barbershop.
He took like a fresh spa bath.
Did he use some like tea tree shampoo or
no,
what?
man? I thought he was gonna. I mean, he just pressure washed the shit out of that thing. It was insane. So it was kind of a smaller hog. There was a much bigger one. He's like, you gonna shoot it? And truth is, I didn't know how much. I had a cooler to bring back some meat and all that, but my intention was not to bring it to California, and I was just gonna bring it and put it in the freezer at the house in Florida. There was a huge one. I mean, it was bigger, twice as big as that one. And I think he wanted a little bit more money for it, but it was a male. That one was I'm pretty sure it was a female or small. I think it was a sow. And the male ones, he's like, they really don't taste very good. And I'm like, man, you're doing a great job of selling the small hog. So I bought the small hog because my intention was to eat it. So truth is, it was so small. Pretty much what I took out were the two hindquarters.
Yeah.
And he never gutted it. Apparently most of the infectious disease is in the abdominal cavity.
Okay.
So he just did like a gutless.
The gutless method.
Yeah, the gutless method. He just took meat off, took the back straps off, and took the two hindquarters.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, the gutless method works, and you can get all the meat that you want from it just doing that method.
Sure.
So I get it.
I mean, it was a thinner hog, It was kind of funny. He's like, you can't. He's like, you got to wait for the perfect shot. Don't just take any shot. Don't take a gut shot. He was like, no matter what you do, don't take a gut shot.
Did he ask you for like a fourth time? What kind of?
It was like 7 times. Like, don't take a fucking gut shot. Yeah, so don't gut shot it. So apparently people gut shot them and they don't bleed because they close up the way that their anatomy is, right? Like a hog. Hogs don't bleed unless you hit them in the lungs, and you hit them in the lungs low that the blood can actually get out.
Mm-hmm.
So he was very adamant about shooting him in the head. So I don't know. We probably set up on the hog maybe 7-8 times, and I was listening to what he was saying. Right, I didn't want to shoot 2 of them. There was a few that were bunched up together. I didn't want to pay double, or triple, because I had way too much gun. I took my HS Precision.
So it was all a la carte.
Yeah, it was all a la carte. So I waited for the perfect shot, and it was trippy because I used the suppressor, and the pig dropped, and the other pigs there. This is the thing. I got to tell you something about hunting with a suppressor. Hunting without a suppressor is dumb. It's dumb in every sense of the word. I shot a 300 Win Mag. The recoil was probably 70% of what it normally would be. The impact, the concussion of the sound is gone. So guess what?
With the suppressor.
With the suppressor. So my dad had ears on. He didn't need them. It was like a loud clap. As far as the other hogs, when the bullet impacted my target hog, he just dropped. The other dudes were like, hey, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah.
Are you tired? Are you sleepy? Like, it wasn't like freaking every animal out there in the field, scaring the shit out of birds on trees. It's really dumb to not be able to legally have a suppressor and be able to hunt one.
Well, I mean, they're getting more and more popular, and I think there's some like companies out there that are because there's like a whole rigmarole of how to get the suppressor and then the amount of time that it takes and all the paperwork and stuff like that. But there's people out there that you can pretty much hire and take you through the entire process.
It's gotten a lot easier. It's gotten a lot easier to get one. And I think 42 states, it's all good. We're hoping that they get taken off the NFA list, and actually there's a couple court cases that if it goes our way, they're going to be transferred like a gun. It's going to be an FFL transfer with a serial number, and you're done.
I mean, literally everything that I've heard. Now, I've never shot a gun or a rifle with the suppressor, but everything that I heard has always been good news about the suppressor.
Look, especially
from the sound, the recoil, 100%, everything.
100%. Like hunting in Maui in those lands where people live there, and they're ranches, the people are around.
Caliber.
Right. So, dude, you go in there, you pop off a couple of your animals, and no one's the wiser. There's no big rigmarole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't spook the shit out of all of the domestic dogs that are around there.
Yeah.
It's really dumb. It's just I don't understand the whole thing behind it, but I'm hoping that the laws change and that it goes our way. So anyway, I've shot suppressor a few times. I shot it in Africa. Got to shoot it in different other places that friends of mine had.
And it doesn't mess you up. The accuracy is still the same, right? So even if tell me this, even if you sight it in your rifle, right, without the suppressor, if you put the suppressor on, do you have to sight it in again, or you're good to go?
In the 30 calibers, no, but in some of the other calibers, I've heard that you have to. In the 30 caliber, you don't have to do it. In the 243, I didn't have to do it. I shot suppressed in Africa. Actually, one of the animals that's up on the wall at the club, and shot it with the 243, and he said it didn't matter with the can on or the can off. It just
okay.
So it's some calibers. I've heard that the 6.5 PR or the 6 PRC and the 7 PRCs, you have to confirm your shot suppressed. You have to sight in, do your final sight in suppressed before you take a shot at an animal. But I think the key is really just the low impact on the environment, on your fellow hunters in Africa, the trackers. I mean, dude, you take a round of the ear with a muzzle brake, and dude, your ears are ringing.
Yeah,
it's really sucks. It really sucks.
After a couple of years, it's like, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
And even me, when I shoot the 300, sometimes my muffs slide off, and I get the tail end of the explosion. It just sucks. It's just, being able to shoot with that suppressor, it was just sweet. It takes all of the things that you hate about high caliber concussion away from it. It's all beautiful.
Well, we missed you, man. We missed you at the dinner table that night, but I know you had a lot of fun and enjoyed that hunt in Florida, and you got to spend time with your pops. So that's freaking awesome.
And he had a great time. He didn't shoot anything, but he was on the front of the buggy, and he's just up for adventure. I mean,
so would you go back?
I would probably go back there. That guy also does saltwater trips, and he does gator hunts on the canal.
Alligator Alley Outfitters. I hope there's some sort of alligator option on the a la carte menu.
Yeah, you can get, I think, 2 tags, or I got to talk to him in a little bit more detail about that. But apparently there's some pretty big gators out there. You can get some 10-footers or something like that. I think anything over 8-footer is considered a trophy.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize that alligators got that big, but they get to 10, 12 feet.
I don't know, man. Those freaking dinosaurs. But I see some of the alligators on the golf course and everything like that. I'm just like, yeah, fuck that.
Dude, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's a Florida thing.
So my wife and my 2 daughters, they're gonna go visit my niece in Florida. She's in flight school over there, so they're heading out there next week. I'm just teasing them because they're looking at things to do and floats and all that thing.
Don't walk the canal.
I'm just like, oh,
don't walk the canal.
Watch out for the alligators. And they're like, oh no, I was reading on Google, alligators, they pretty much leave you alone. And then after this conversation, 2 days later, there was 2 people floating down a river. One of them got mauled by an alligator. I was like, yeah.
Nah. There's guys fishing on the canals all the time. I'm like,
I bet. Even Paul went out to Florida and he went fishing because Blake lives out there and they killed it, man. The redfish, the snook. There's some fucking awesome fishing in Florida. I wouldn't mind going fishing out there, but the weather out there right now is just. I've never really hung out in Florida, but I hear the weather in the summer months is just you do not want to be there.
Well, it's like Maui. I mean, Maui's hot.
Yeah, but I think the humidity and the overall temperature is just way more than Maui, right? Once you get into the 80s, every degree above 80 exponentially feels hotter.
It's 95, bro. It's hot.
Yeah,
with 90% humidity. And the thing is, you get in any water and it's not cold. It's fucking 80.
Yeah.
Like the pool, it's not 70.
Yeah.
Like here, it could be, you can go to Palm Beach or you can go to the Palm Desert and it's 104 and you hop in the pool and the pool at least will be 70.
Well, yeah, it's like 75. Dropping into a pool that's room temperature.
Right.
Or warmer.
Yeah, if it's hot, it's not. So you guys are here at the Seaforth Landing?
Yeah, man. So something else that took place, kind of like we took our little hiatus, was the fact that we had our annual club trip aboard the Pacific Voyager out of Seaforth Landing in San Diego. And that was an epic trip. And another trip that we missed you, Langosta.
Yes, yet another was not here.
So this is an annual fishing charter that the Redondo Rod and Gun Club puts on. It's with the Pacific Voyager, and this year there's actually a new owner and captain, Max Nue, and Max Nue just freaking kills it. There was some good action coming from that boat kind of early on in the season, and everybody was kind of catching on. This is his first year as owner and captain, and I can tell you what, our club is definitely going to be back. They are actually saying that, that boat is chartered quite often, and because they switched owner and captain, that some people kind of pulled out, but they're going to definitely be back in based off of all the action that he took us in. So we went on a 2-day trip out of Seaforth in San Diego, and Seaforth Landing is a great landing. If you've been to other landings in San Diego, Seaforth's different in the sense that, there's a lot of parking. It's not overly crowded. Yeah. It's very comfortable. They got a great restaurant that you can kind of chow down at.
Oh, yeah.
Before you get on the boat, the fish sandwich, the fries, the burgers, everything was there. Was fantastic. And they've got a great tackle shop too. So if you guys are looking to jump on a sport fishing boat, Seaforth Landing's a great place. But the Pac V, we had a great trip. Again, it was 2 nights. We went out there, and we left in the afternoon, in the evening time. So we weren't going to really start fishing until the next day, but we ended up on San Clemente Island in the morning, and the yellowtail action was hot. They had great bait. I'll tell you what, they had the live wells filled with everything from a ton of live squid, because squid was just going amazing. Crazy. A bunch of live squid and sardines that were just the healthiest sardines, and their thing in life was to be eaten by bigger game fish. But we ended up at San Clemente Island in the morning.
So this was at the same bait place that he stops by in the bay?
Yeah, so by the time we loaded the boat, they already had the live wells filled.
Cool.
So it didn't take any additional time like in some normal sport fishing boats where you get onto the boat and as soon as you push off, you're then at the bait dock, and then at the bait dock for an hour and then filling up. He was good to go. So we were just kind of on our way, ready to party, ready to fish, ready to, get the action going. But we had a great time, man. Yellowtail action was hot. We ran into some white sea bass. So the picture that Brian was showing a little bit earlier, and what was really cool is that my brother-in-law, Dustin, we've talked to him on the show before, had him on the show. That's my hunting and fishing partner. We took his son, Kaikea. So Kaikea came along, and this was his first sport fishing trip. So as you can see there, Kaikea actually hooked into one of 2 white sea bass that we caught on the trip. And it was actually kind of a trip because most of the white sea bass were being caught kind of more up north in the Channel Islands. Yeah. And the fact that we were down south, Max, being Max, just a badass captain, knew exactly where to go. And his deckhands were freaking amazing, man. We had a great freaking trip. But we got 2 white sea bass, Kaikea here. One of the things that the people here in Southern California know about if you're into the sport fishing is the fact that the tuna have been freaking monsters.
Big tuna.
Dude, big freaking tuna. It's like normal, they took this year and they just fucking buffeted out all year long. And most of them are over 100 pounds. So this was Kaikea's first fishing trip, 14 years old, reeling in this 115-pound bluefin tuna.
That's amazing.
Dude, it was so awesome. Just kind of I'm here trying to do my own fishing, and I'm across the side, not even paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm just holy shit, Kaikea, that looks like he's hooked up into a big one. So the crew again helped him out. I got a nice bluefin. I got some bluefin bites. We had so much on board. This is a nice 61-pound bluefin that we had right there. And I'll tell you what, across the boat, there was only 17 guys. So with the Pacific Voyager, 17 guys, very comfortable boat.
Very nice.
That
very
boat
nice.
Throughout the year, has a lot of charters. And as things kind of come along, if you guys ever see Maximum Fishing or Max Nue or the Pacific Voyager posting that there's openings on board their boat, definitely sign up to get hooked up with the crew. Again, great crew. And Max is a hard fisherman, bro. 21 years old.
I know, it's really impressive, dude.
21 years old.
Good for him, bro. Good for him.
Oh man, it was amazing. So just the whole tuna, the yellowfin, the white sea bass, calico bass were just hitting. It was just, everything was biting. It was great. And it was, I'll tell you what, we were coming off of like the full moon, and the week prior during the full moon, all the fishing reports that were coming back was that the epic bluefin bite that was happening just really slowed down.
Yeah, it was tapering down.
It tapered down, and it got scary to the point of like, oh man, are we going to get into them?
We're going on a boat trip.
Yeah.
We're going sailing, guys.
So, and we didn't want to do that, and we didn't even see any whales, so we couldn't even have called it a whale watching tour. We saw some dolphins, but that's about it. But the bite got hot at nighttime. We were driving out there, and we were hoping for a good night, and it was a great night. I can say that the trip from the island to the bluefin tuna grounds was probably one of the heavier swelled trips that I had in my tenure of sport fishing, which by any means isn't a long streak, but it got pretty rough. So a couple of guys on the boat, they felt it a little bit, and it was so I had to pop some pills and make sure that I was okay myself.
There's nothing worse, man, than being seasick.
Yeah. Horrible. I was in the galley, and I was just kind of hanging out with Dustin and a bunch of other guys, and Dustin looks over at me and he goes, "What, JoJo, you okay or what?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah. Just kind of trying to play it off, and I was like, "Oh, why?" He goes, "Oh, I've never seen you without a beer." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm not drinking, but..." Once we ended up at the tuna grounds, it was pretty cool that the swells kind of like it died down. Yeah. It was just the perfect night. Chuck Breaker, our president, his sister Michelle just killed it, man. She slayed. She was hooking up all the time between her and Matt Rock. It was just, they were just on all the time.
I was there one year. She did well, man. She's a great fisherman. She's got a good setup, and she's luck has got a lot to do with it too, man. I'd rather be lucky than good, man. I'd rather be lucky than good.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not saying she's not good. She's a good fisherman, but
yeah,
she's also been able to score, score big. So
yeah,
she got 3 or 4 that are over.
She got like
pounds.
5, dude. She pulled in like 5, and it was amazing. And most of them were over 100 pounds, and she was using the most basic of jigs. So now, over the past couple of years, the Eddie Bomb has become popular, and it started with just a 16-ounce lead weight that people would tie hooks on, and then they made it fancy. Well, she had like a 16-ounce kind of lead knife jig mold, and that thing was just going, man. Whenever she dropped, she'd just be like, "Biter, fresh one," and everybody else on the boat would be like, "What the hell is she dropping
what is she
into,
fishing
man? Like,
on,
what
man?
the hell's going on? Like, is she using any sense or whatever?"
You think she was in them because it was heavier and it got down there faster?
I think there's a couple of different reasons why. I'm not a tuna fish, so I can't say exactly what took place, but it could be that she got down there faster for sure. I think that's probably the most logical sense. It could just be the fact that, there was a few people that were just kind of dropping more slender jigs, and this one may just have been causing more vibration, and the tuna at that time were just kind of like reacting to that sort of action. But whatever she was doing was working. It was spot on. But again, everybody got into something which was good, right? You never want a trip where it's like only a couple of people are hooking up into them. You want a trip where everybody's just freaking partying on one and just fighting. So it was great. And then, like always, this time around, we didn't take it. We didn't bring it back to the club for processing, but we actually took it to the processor. And in good old annual fashion, the next day we were at the club. And when we go to the club after a nice fishing trip, the feast is on.
Yes, sir. Now, I had never eaten sea bass.
Oh, yeah?
So
me neither.
Your first recipe was my introduction to white sea bass, which was killer.
Yeah, it was amazing, man. So what I really wanted to do was really try that white sea bass, because like you, I had never had it, but I just could imagine like what the meat was, and it's a real nice
white,
thick white fillet, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to steam this fucker up. So, you know, I steamed it up. It was great. Made some sashimi platters. There's some poke bowls. So there's the white sea bass kind of going into a simple marinade. Not going to give out the secrets there, but yeah. So,
it was good. It was really good. That lemongrass.
Oh, dude.
Just a spoiler alert. It had lemongrass in it, and it
was good, right?
It made it happen, man.
It was killer, man.
It was killer.
And there on the left-hand side, we had the yellowtail sashimi up there at the top, and then that bluefin, like that to me is just magic. Oh man. I mean, just the fillets that were coming off of it, and just the nice meat, and then the fat content in the tuna was just crazy.
It was amazing. It was really cool.
I had a big belly that I cut up for my neighbors for our annual 4th of July barbecue.
Yeah.
And they're just like, we never knew that fish tasted like this. And it's just like, dude, oh yeah, that's how it's supposed to taste. All the shit you've been getting at the sushi bars and the restaurants
for
that's called fresh fish, you have no idea. It's just, oh man, it was.
You think about it, that toro belly, you get 2 little pieces of sushi.
Yeah.
It's $40.
Yep.
Like that whole thing that was on that plate. Put that plate back, Brian. That whole plate is bluefin. It's all of it. All of that is, you know, what you would buy 2 pieces, especially of that lighter stuff.
Oh yeah.
The belly part is the lighter stuff. You know, you're talking 40 bones for $20 a piece.
And we freaking pounded that thing. That thing was gone.
That's all we ate.
That thing was gone. So the good thing about fishing and kind of coming home with any meat, whether you're hunting or fishing, is being able to share it and give it to people, right?
Absolutely.
So every time I'd give it to somebody that, you know, don't necessarily cook fish, the best part of tuna is that when they ask the question, like, hey, JoJo, how should I cook this? You don't.
Don't cook that.
Don't. The best part about tuna is, like, the best way that it's eaten is that you don't freaking cook it.
Yeah. Slice it thin, put some soy on it, put a little bit of
man.
A little bit of sesame seed oil.
Yeah. So
much.
I had such a great trip, and we had such a great trip that this season I didn't pull any elk tags. So unfortunately for me, I don't have any fun elk hunts that I'm going to be going on, taking my bow. What that meant was that I had a little extra money in my pocket.
Well, your fun budget has been extended.
My fun budget was diverted from the forest to the sea. Okay. And my buddy Ryan, who's a fire captain here in Torrance, on the 4th of July, where we were kind of hanging out, he was like, "Hey JoJo, me and the boys got a tuna charter coming up," and I was just like, "Oh, tell me more." So I'm going back out in August, and I'm trying to solicit you to come with me. Yeah. But we're heading out on the Spirit of Adventure for a 3-day charter with a bunch of guys from the Torrance Fire Department. I couldn't pass it up because the tuna bite has been good, but not only has it been good, the quality of tuna that has been coming up, the number of fish that are coming up overboard and that are over 100 pounds.
It's crazy.
I haven't seen it, at least in the time that I've really been up here into the fishing scene.
No, I've never, ever seen that. Like when we got into a good bite, they were like 40, 50 pounders.
Yeah.
You know, bigger football.
And they're freaking fun.
They're fun as hell. But I remember when somebody pulled up like an 80 pounder. That was like, whoa, that's a huge fish, blah, blah, blah. Now for it to be the norm, normal thing, 100 plus?
Yeah.
Really?
Dude, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
My nephew, Kaikea, 14 years old, he got himself his first white freaking sea bass and 115-pound tuna. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
But for me, white sea bass has been like an urban legend, you know, for the last 10 years here. To catch him in the numbers that people have been catching him this season, it's been unheard of.
That bite has been hot.
Yeah, and it
like
started
some
strong.
Of these boats are coming up with like 100 white sea bass.
Yeah,
and it's like,
I wonder if they're lost. I mean, they were normally going somewhere else, and they
something's happening in the water where the big freaking tuna are biting, and then also right now, what's hot is like the sand bass. Sand bass. Yeah. These boats are getting like 100 fish within a matter of 30 minutes. They're going out on like a half-day evening trip.
Wow.
And turning back around within an hour. It becomes into like a dolphin in nature cruise because the boat has completely limited out on the sand bass.
And look, dude, I don't care what anybody says. I mean, for you hardcore fishermen, I'm not a hardcore fisherman. I like catching. I would rather catch than fish all day long.
Yeah.
Fishing is you guys go and you play with your little hooks and you have a new rod and a new reel and maybe Chuck made you a new rod and you're buying parts for it and you're showing it off and you're talking about it. That's fishing, right? Catching is that's fun. That's fun part. Right?
Oh, dude,
let's just get to the fun part.
It's badass, and your body is just feeling it after like a long trip.
Just cranking it down.
Yep.
I honestly I don't mind going on the overnight boats because I could actually sleep on the boat.
Yep.
Like I sleep, no problem.
Yep.
It doesn't bother me at all. I'm moving around.
Yeah, I mean we were on a 2-day, and the upcoming trip that I have in August is actually a 3-day. Being able to sleep on a boat, I can totally do it, but honestly, like after 3 days, I'm probably done. Like I can probably go for 3 days, nothing more. When we talk about like 5-day trips, 8-day trips, it's not that like I'm not getting good rest. It's just the fact that I'm on a freaking boat for that many days.
Yeah.
I just go crazy.
Well, and you have to have the good mix of people too.
Oh yeah.
Because, there's only so many things you can talk about for the first.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, you can get through pretty much all the topic of conversation in one day.
And that's why jumping on like a charter is like the best bet, right?
Sure.
Where you have a group of people that, it's easy to have conversation and you're not kind of like in that stage of meeting people and all that stuff. So super stoked about that. Like August is literally like the best month ever for me. So before going on that trip, I'm actually in Maui for a week. And, actually in Hawaii for a week. So we're going to fly into Honolulu, hang out with the family, and then fly over to Maui. And then Dustin and I, along with a couple of another cousin and one of our friends is actually going to go axis hunting. So super stoked about that. We're going to go out for 3 days.
You're
go
going to
check
with
it
them
out.
Axis hunting?
Yep.
Nice.
So going to go do some axis deer hunting in Maui. And if anybody knows, Maui's got some action. If you got... The crappy part is that you really need to kind of know people, know where to go, and kind of have some insides. Lucky for us, we know some people and got some insights into some land. Wish people could do it more and kind of enjoy it. It's getting a lot more popular, but we're going to be out there. This picture up here is actually just recent. My nephews who live in Las Vegas, they actually went back home to Maui. They're originally from Maui, so Boss and Nico. They went out there and they went deer hunting. So that's one axis that they got, and they were out there hunting. They're out hunting. I know you listened to him with Glenn from Maui.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Glenn kind of got into hunting about a year ago or so, or a couple of years ago, and he's all into it now. So they went out there. They got this axis deer. That's what we're going to be after. But my nephew's got into this action.
I think they gave it a Colombian necktie.
And there you go. And as you can tell, they don't got the best camouflage. They got some like branded camouflage. But I was talking with Nico just the other day, and I was asking him about how he liked it, and he was telling me about, uncle, we got it the deer, and it was good, and you cannot use 122 LR. You gotta use this. You gotta use that. I was like, oh boy,
nice. That's how it starts.
Yeah, that's how it starts. So I'm gonna be heading out to Maui and doing some hunting. Looking forward to that. And then the week that I'm back, I'm actually heading out on the boat and going to do some fishing. So
you got an itinerary jam packed,
dude. I'm super stoked about that. And then, by the way, the surf fishing has been hot. So I've been out there every freaking weekend, man.
Okay.
And like it has been hot. The croaker bite, the corbinas are out, the sand crabs are all over the place.
Do you ever keep any of the corbina?
I don't. Yeah. For me,
I heard it's good eating.
No, it's super good. So I did. I did cook one up one time because when I tried to release it, it
didn't make it.
Yeah, it didn't make it. So I hear the yellowfin croaker is good to eat too. I honestly have never ate a yellowfin croaker. For me, like surf fishing is all about the catch. Yeah. Right. The fishing, the bite, the catch, all that stuff, and I'm good. Take my picture. Go little fishy. Go swim away. But. It's been good, man. So I've been going like every single weekend, at least on a Saturday. This weekend, Friday, I'm going to be heading out. If you
Friday, I'll go with you Friday.
Yeah, I'm going to go Friday morning and take my daughter, a couple of her friends that they went with me on a grunion run the other week.
You went on Thursday night.
Yeah.
You went on Thursday night.
Didn't see no grunion at Torrance Beach, but
you got to go late. That's it. They didn't come the last time we went. They didn't come till like almost 1 a.m.
Yeah, so they didn't come. They came on the third day. So one of my buddies went out like every single night.
Yeah.
So we went out the first night and didn't get into any grunion. I brought my rod and reel, and I got into a bunch of croaker, which was great, right? I'm not just gonna go to catch grunion, but I brought my rod, got some fish. But by the third night, the grunion started coming out there at Torrance Beach. And Torrance Beach by no means is like the stuff that you see at Cabrillo Beach. You get down into the San Pedro side, the Long Beach slide, and it's like, for some reason, that's where like the fucking grunion action is. It's crazy grunion.
And I thought there was a lot that one year. Honestly, I think it's kind of gross that there's the beach is full of jizz.
It's freaking nasty.
One of the guys comes with a bucket full of grunion and jizz.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, dude, he sticks his hand in there. I'm like, do you understand what you're putting your hand? Like, if somebody told me, hey, come over here, put your finger in this little cup here full of grunion jizz.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, dude, go fuck yourself. Like, I'm not doing that. Well, anyway, I digress. It's a spectacle to see them on the shore.
It is
getting their romance on. But you won't be seeing me catching any grunion. But hold on, you can use them as bait and catch.
You can use them as bait. The halibut usually will come in. The grunion run is really timed on the tide and the moon, so that's kind of where they come up with the times. I've never used grunion as live bait or dead bait. I hear a bunch of good things about using grunion for it. I mean, you look at the fish and it's just like, yeah, this isn't a fucking predator. It's prey.
Right.
So you look at it, if I was a predator fish, I would be eating grunion.
Right.
And what better place to find them than, during their, their monthly orgy.
Yeah.
But
it is an orgy.
The fish do come out, and they come out in the masses, man. The grunion, it's definitely a California special. When I first moved to California and I was kind of looking up fishing, and one of the first things that popped up was grunion run. And I had never heard of grunion.
Is that an athletic event? Is that like a triathlete type of thing? Or what's going on?
Is it in the Summer Olympics or the Winter Olympics?
That's trippy. So my question is, if you use them as bait, are you going to hook them like in the nose like you would try and do some of the other bait fish and let them swim on a Carolina rig? Or how would you even rig that?
I don't know what the best way would be to rig it, but I would probably, the weight of the fish is pretty good, and the fact that they're swimmer, they're pretty strong swimmers.
They are,
from what
yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Is that I'd kind of belly hook it or nose hook it so that it can fly line out to wherever it needs to go. But my fear would be, hey, these guys are coming into shore, so if I tried to do this, if I kind of toss them out there to just kind of swim out, would he actually swim out, or would he try to like get more action? So
that's what I'm saying. Maybe a Carolina rig, they're not going to be able to swim on a Carolina rig.
No.
Unless you put a real light weight on it.
Yeah, they may be able to just to kind of keep them down low, but I've never tried it. I'd be interested. I'd probably Google it after this on how to kind of like properly rig a grunion during a grunion run.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the fish all around, whether you're heading out on a sport fishing boat here in Southern California or you're fishing from the surf, this is the time of year. It's summertime. The only crappy part about surf fishing in the summertime is the fact that it's summer. So what ends up happening is that you wait till the sun starts coming up, and you start seeing people out there, and some people they still don't like fishing. Like I've been around where it's like, and again, I just catch and release.
Yeah.
And people are fucking walking by, and it's like they're like representing PETA. They're like, "Don't kill the fish," and I'm like, "I'm not killing the fish. I'm having."
Well, hey, sweetheart, I'd be like, "Listen, I'm not fishing for fish. I'm gonna go for shark. Can you come over here and fucking hook your ass up in the back of your neck? And can you go swim out to that buoy over there? Let's see if something happens. Maybe you pee while you're swimming.
It's fucked up too, man. Like everybody's doing their own thing. Like whether or not you're at the beach just to go swimming, playing in the sand, or fishing. Like I was with my buddy Russell the other day, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, man, I was out here the other day, and these guys were out fishing, and they're getting harassed by these people that came down to the beach, and they were just like, move away." And it's just like, dude, I'm like a fucking 100 yards away from you. It's just
I like to remind people
crazy.
that it is their personal prerogative to mind their own fucking business.
Yes, please. No, but I mean, I get it, right? Like I was out there this past weekend on a Friday, and there was a bunch of like kids summer camps that take place at the beach. And sure enough, the camp counselor came up to me and he was just like, "Hey, guy," he was like, "Hey, you know, we're gonna jump into the water soon. You mind moving?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, you guys have fun. Like, enjoy. Like, I'll move the hell out of the way."
Yeah, well, because here's the funny part. This is the irony of this, right, JoJo? Where you're about to send your little summer camp kids is the hole that the fish are in. That is where the rip current is.
Yeah.
So, do you really want to send them right here? I mean, maybe you should like a little bit know what you're doing, Miss Camp Counselor. I'm just saying.
Did you see that rip current that was at Newport Beach? It was on the news.
No,
Dude, it was a fucking monster.
yeah,
Like people got swept out, but
yeah. Case in point, don't swim in the rip current hole.
yeah.
I'd be like, excuse me, I'd like to have my little tribe jump in the rip current hole. Can you please step out of the way, Mr. Fisherman?
That's where the big fish are, though, because those
That's
little
always.
guys that can fucking handle it, and they're just waiting for the bait that's struggling. So my jig is right up in that mofo, and it's just
After we had the Howley Queen over here, I felt like a fishing imbecile, listening to her techniques, her tactics, and I'm like thinking like, dude, that makes so much sense. I feel like a total dumbass. Because I just got there like, all right, it's wet there. Let's throw the fucking bait in the water.
Yeah.
And it's very strategic. You're looking at for that kind of weird angle where the water's kind of going different spots. I'm like, that's a hole right there. Let's do it. Sure enough, that morning that I took my daughter to the beach, that you helped me hook up every single rod that I have. Sorry. You're like my shorthand. Like, this fucking guy doesn't know how to do shit. You totally fucking. Anyway, so you bring
Alex, is this a 100-pound test? Like, we're surf fishing here, buddy.
Alex, why did you bring rope? This is fucking rope. Are you gonna like tow your car with this thing? Anyway, so you totally very graciously set up the rods for us, and man, as soon as I found that little hole, dude, it was
Game on.
Game on. It was constantly snatching things out of that hole.
You just gotta find it, man. And once you find it, it's like you're in.
Well, I've spent a lot of time, surfing in my youth, and so I understand like the shoreline, right? So and I've spent a lot of time snorkeling, spearfishing.
Yeah.
So once you kind of once you go to the same beach a few times, you know kind of where the general area where some of the holes are.
Yep.
Or rocks or whatever structures under there.
Yep.
I remember going spearfishing off of Topaz and the jetties over there, and there's people throwing their bait out, and it's like they're throwing it on fucking dry sand in the water. Like there's no structure there. And I kind of swim around them with my, my snorkel, my spear gun, and there's like fucking hundreds of fish amongst the rocks, probably maybe 15, 20 yards from where they're throwing their casting. So anyway, it's it's one of those things.
The stingrays are out right now too. So
yeah, you got to shuffle. You got to shuffle. You got to take it easy.
Yep. That was a good recap and kind of catch up to what we've been up to lately. And I can say that on board our YouTube, we try to do it every Wednesday, but Wheel Gun Wednesdays have been taking off.
Yeah,
and
we've had pretty good success with that.
We've definitely had some success, man. Over 1,000 views, 2,000 views. So thank you all to everybody that has liked and subscribed to our podcast here at Rifles, Rods, and Broads. And it kind of seems to me like we've got something special here tonight that we can talk about when it comes to.
Well, we got what we have here is what we have under the blanket is some wheelies, some wheel guns.
I love that wheelies.
We got some wheelies here, and we got a very special one. I want to go over all of the ones that are here. I brought them over here for a reason. And as I've geeked out, I've been a gun guy, gun geek. For many years? I've got a gun collecting problem. and
is that what it's called?
And I'm not ashamed to talk about it. So, a few months ago, I came across this from one of my favorite gun shops, Tyler Gun Works in Freona, Texas.
Okay.
And they're a gunsmith company.
And you've gotten a few guns from...
I had him make me a Actually, a couple of guns.
The custom one that you made is from there.
Yes. So I sent him the guns, and he totally reworked them and made them look, spectacular.
Yeah.
So he had this gun in his inventory, and this is a Smith & Wesson Model 3. This gun represents Smith & Wesson's move from the big 7.5-inch barrel Army Colt Navy guns.
Yeah.
The big stuff, the big steel guns that were made to shoot down horses during cavalry charges, to your first CCW type gun.
Concealed carry type gun.
This is what it is. So I'm going to kind of hold it up for you. And it's a top break. You may think that it's broken, but it's not. It's literally a top break.
So when we're talking about like one of the first CCWs, set the timeline for us.
So this is circa 1860 through, these guns were made through 1915, something like that.
That's crazy.
So this is the transition of the single action, basically load one at a time, kind of a cowboy setup, to something where you could actually set 5 at a time. And this is 5, and it has an ejector.
I could see how that caught your attention right away.
So I love, and I think I've talked about this before, but I love the mechanics. I love the mechanics of it all. I love the mechanical look, the lines of it, really the craftsmanship behind it.
Yeah, and it's a Smith & Wesson, right? So as we were talking, kind of like as we were catching up a little bit before we started recording the show, and you're going to cover it with the guests that are on or the audience that we have. But talking about those lines, there's some things with the Smith & Wesson that have kind of stood the test of time.
So when you think of branding, of the way that something should look based on its brand and its heritage, this is the epitome of that. But if you look at the trigger guard, you look at like where my thumbs are, that's the trigger guard.
Yeah.
You look at the shape of the grips,
the
top, they're identical. These guns are 100 years apart.
That's crazy.
This didn't come on a scene until like the late 50s. This is 1880s, 1870s, something like that.
What's cool is like, there's that phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And this is a prime example of something that came out so long ago. And one of the first times they made it so it wasn't broken and it worked.
Yeah. I mean, you think about the tapered barrel. So this goes, actually, if we're going on this camera, it's a little bit better. So if you think of the tapered barrel, it goes from thicker here at the forcing cone, and it thins out as it goes to the end.
Uh-huh.
Same thing. This is same dynamic. Thicker forcing cone, and then it thins out at the barrel.
That's actually a great shot to show that.
Yeah. And you think about what it took, the tools available 1880 versus 1950. Totally different set of tools.
Yep.
Shit, there was no power. There was no electricity. There was no electricity when this gun was made.
So how many of those were made, do you know?
So they were in batches. And there was probably 4 different runs.
Okay.
I think it started off slow. The first batch was something like 5,000. Then it hit 10 or 12,000. And ultimately, by the time they changed the model over completely, they had built over 500,000 of them.
Well, I'm sure once that came out, that became probably like the most popular thing in anyone's belt.
Oh, for sure. I mean, at the time, so let's talk about like the bullets that it shot, or the cartridges that it shot. This is a 45 Colt, 250 grain bullet. It's a standard deal. And then this is the little dude that was fired from that gun. This is a 38 Smith & Wesson, not a 38 Special, but a 38 Smith & Wesson.
Very specific. 38 Smith & Wesson.
Right. And then the Special is the same bullet weight, same diameter. It's just the cartridge is bigger because it had more powder.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 357 Magnum is what came later. is much larger case, but it's everything the same. Like this fits into a 357 Magnum. It's just, it's going to sound like a little firecracker popped off inside of this gun. But you can see this is, much, much, much bigger than this little dude here.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Right. But the diameter is the same. In fact, I load this bullet for 357 Magnum loads, and I found the powder formula for this thing. It took a while to get all these components, but I got it. So I haven't shot it yet. So if I come on the show and I have an eye patch, that I shot it and it didn't go well.
As long as you're not missing a trigger finger, I think you'd be fine. If it's the pinky, that's okay. But if it's the index, then no.
Holy shit.
Houston, we've got a problem.
So anyway, it's I thought that.
So you've had that one for a while, though?
This one I got recently in the secondhand market because these are all vintage guns. I got a very good deal on some of these guns here.
Okay.
So this one I've been shooting since I was in elementary school.
And that's the 38 special.
That's a 38 special. Yeah.
2-inch barrel.
2-inch barrel, 38 special, 3-inch barrel, a Chief special. And that's a modern 357 Magnum 686.
That's gonna, once the paychecks start coming in, I've got my eyes on that 357.
I'll let you shoot that thing. It's a fun.
You let me shoot it at the ranch.
Yeah, that gun is surprisingly fun. So here's the thing, guys. If you guys have never fired a revolver, you're missing out. For those of you guys that have only fired Glocks or striker fire guns, you're missing out. It used to be that if you were getting into guns and you were trying to learn how to shoot a handgun, you would always start in a revolver. That was the norm. And the reason is because the double action trigger squeeze is so much harder. It's a 12-inch, 12-pound pull.
It's a lot harder for sure.
So you would master that, and only after you got really good would you start using single action, which is, a pound or 2 pounds or something like that. So the idea is that you would force yourself to get your technique right before you graduated to something that was a little bit more high velocity. The other component is that I would consider a gun this big to be a master level gun. You should, if you've never fired a gun, you should not get this gun.
Yeah.
If you're learning how to shoot, you should not get this gun. This is a master level type of gun.
The accuracy, you've got to be able to master it.
Well, it has horrible sights. You have to have a good trigger squeeze because it has a very small sight radius, which means you have to understand your body has to have already been conditioned on how to hold the gun and how to hold the gun steady and how to acquire your sight picture so that you're going to be able to make hits. I see people at the range. In fact, I was at the CCW class recently, and somebody brought out one of these little snubbies. They hit probably 10% of shots fired. So
no pass.
Not with this gun. No, she had another a regular pistol, an autoloader that she shot really well with, but not this gun. This is not your beginner gun.
Well, the new beginner gun is like the Glock 19.
That's right. That's a great beginner gun. It's a big sight radius gun.
Ever since Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg came out with Gangster Rap, it was about the Glock.
Well, you might as well shoot yourself with a reliable, affordable gun.
Oh, man.
Anyway, getting back to this stuff, what caught my eye about this gun is first.
And we're talking about the older one.
Yes, the older one, the Model 3. What caught my eye was how much it looks like a modern day Smith & Wesson. And then when I looked at the date, I was completely shocked, right? So I was like, man, this would be a great gun to have on Wheel Gun Wednesdays. And part of me was like, well, and then I looked at the caliber and I was like, I don't even know if I could find it. So I was like, one way or another, maybe we'll find some ammo. It'll be insanely expensive, but I think it'll be worth it. It'll be a cool Wheel Gun Wednesday episode to shoot it.
Oh, I'm sure people are going to love it, man.
Yeah.
Because, the hits that we've gotten on every Wheel Gun Wednesday, and again, thank you guys very much for liking and subscribing and checking out Wheel Gun Wednesday with Langosta.
Yeah, the one we did on this one did really good, the Chief Special.
Oh, and it happened fast, too.
Yeah, we got 3,000 views or something like that in like 2 days. So I don't know if it's the bling, like if people like the bling, the nickel-plated bling, but I like the bling, so I don't mind it at all. So anyway, we're gonna put a little series together. But this is, if you think of modern day concealed carry guns, this is the beginning of it.
Yeah.
And then of course the Browning 32s and the autoloaders, those came later, and they were definitely gentlemen's guns because they were very expensive at the time. But this is the beginning of what concealed carry is now.
So when are you going to put the first round through that?
Maybe this weekend at the range. I'm thinking about going on Saturday for that night shoot competition.
That'd be awesome, man.
So
it's a competition going on over there?
Well, it's a match. I mean, you're competing against yourself. I mean,
okay.
Ultimately, they'll put a timer on it, but it's going to be a night shoot with it's called Urban Tactical or something. So I don't know. I think what my game plan is to show up there like around 3:00 in the afternoon and play with some of the other guns. I've got some sights, some stuff to sight in.
So after finding the 38 Smith & Wesson, how many did you load yourself?
I loaded about 50, I think, of these.
Okay. Good amount.
Yeah, good amount.
Save the brass. And save it for later.
Yeah, definitely. I bought 500 pieces of brass in case I wasn't able to locate it again. So I could have got, I think it was 200 or 500, and I got the 500. I don't know that I'll ever I'll even load all the 500, but
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'll like it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, when it comes to hunting and fishing, one thing that is definitely common across the board is the fact that you always buy more than what you actually need.
I'm a firm believer in said philosophy.
Yep. I think we all are. If you're interested in the great outdoors, hunting, fishing, buy more, use less. That's the slogan.
For sure. So we'll see. I think it's a great piece to talk about. I think at the range, talking and camaraderie, chatting with the other guys at the range about different cool guns is always a fun thing.
Yeah. I mean, every time you go to the range, it's almost like it's a car show, right? Everybody's looking left, everybody's looking right. Like, what do you got? What does he got? What does she got? And that's one of those guns that's going to draw attention for sure.
And I have a book. So I bought a commemorative edition 45 Colt, and it came in a real nice wooden box with kind of like a silver medallion thing, and it has a book on the history of the Smith & Wesson guns from inception through probably like the 70s. And it gives you data on like the serial number blocks, so you can kind of gauge when it was built and all that stuff. So the first time I saw that is I was scrolling through, from inception. And I think this is chapter like 14 or chapter 12, something like that, where these guns come into play. And some of them, the real fancy ones, were nickel-plated. God knows what that cost if you can find one in good shape, a nickel-plated old revolver. But I think there were only maybe 50 or 60 made nickel-plated. So, it's cool, man. I think it's cool. And then a few months later, I found this one for a really good deal. And it's so similar. I'm like, God, I could show people the difference between the similarities really between the two guns, and they're so far apart in time. So they're like 80, 90 years apart, almost 100 years apart.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people out there that do love wheel guns and revolvers, and obviously Smith & Wesson is like one of those brands that rolls off the tongue when it comes to those types of guns. And what you've got here on the table is just the evolution of the Smith & Wesson.
Mm-hmm. And really, you think about like over the years, the ingenuity, so on the macro sense, right? A tremendous amount hasn't changed, right? This is now a slide out. This is now a slide out cylinder versus a top brake, which makes it stronger to be able to have a top strap.
So would you say the evolution of the revolver is the fact that it was just kind of more the slide out that was the biggest revolution?
Yeah, that's the
wheel
game changer.
guns?
Yes, that's a game changer. Figuring out how to keep the frame, how to have a top strap in place, because in this scenario, right, this top brake is the weakest link.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you open this thing, this little locking mechanism here is the weakest link. So
makes sense.
You'll get to the point where you're going to max out on your PSI and your pressure, on your chamber pressure. So
because it's literally every time you pull that trigger, it's an explosion.
It's an explosion, and it's blowing back against here. Obviously, most of the pressure is on the forcing cone. but it's a big explosion. So when they figured out, hey, we can keep a top strap, we're just going to let the cylinder slide out sideways. When they invented this hinge, this little hinge here, because that's what that is, it's a hinge, then it was like, oh.
Game changer.
Yeah. And then...
but outside of that, pretty much everything in terms of the wheel gun has remained the same, right? It doesn't need to be more difficult than what it actually is.
Yeah, you've got some guns now that shoot from underneath the cylinder on the bottom so that you don't have such an elevation for recoil wise, right? It's going to give you more of a push because it's pushing into your bottom of your hand versus this rolling action. I think it's Chippewa, something like that. It's uglier than sin in my opinion. But other than that, like how else are you going to change this? It's pretty much squared away.
Yeah.
Now people add steel and make it stronger, and then
the materials, the lightness of it,
right?
The this, the that.
Yeah. So Smith & Wesson's got the aluminum frame with a liner barrel, and now you can carry a 44 Magnum that weighs like a third of the weight. Of course, you shoot it, and it's ungodly on your hands. So you're solving one problem and creating others. But the cool part about, I think the cool part about Smith & Wesson is how they have been able to keep the line. And if you are a Smith & Wesson aficionado and you see these guns on the table from afar, you're like, what is that old Smith & Wesson? I've never seen that before. Because it keeps so much of the lines. This is what would be kind of round, but what do you call the round butt grip?
And that thing is narrow, man.
Yeah, no, it's a tiny little gun, man.
Yeah.
It's a tiny little gun, but it was made like that. It was made to be concealed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you'd have it in your vest pocket, or your
next to your what are those watches that are on the chains?
Yeah, your vest pocket. So you have
go.
your little vest. What do you call it? Your pocket watch. Literally, that's where the term pocket watch came from. Anyhow, so I don't know. I dig it. I'm hoping that I don't blow my hand off when I load it. I loaded a very mild load to start off, and we'll see how it goes. I would imagine I'm going to shoot this in the 38 special, just to kind of see, to kind of gauge the recoil and gauge the pressure, and then I'll put it in this little vintage action here.
Well, you better record that.
Yeah, I'm sure Brian's either going to record something really boring, or he's going to be like, holy shit. We blew up the gun.
Well, until you said that, Brian didn't know he was going.
Yeah. Well, eventually we'll drag Brian to the range. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, man, this has been what I've been up to. I've been playing with this stuff. I've also been loading. I didn't bring anything tonight for that, but I have been really experimenting with this new powder and these Lehigh Defense projectiles. I'm creating what I am going to consider the perfect 45 Colt load. So the powder is a low muzzle flash powder. So a lot of the powder that we use for the Colt now has either a lot of smoke or a lot of flash.
Okay.
And recoil. So what I'm going to try and do is...
And what I learned from you, in some scenarios, that's not good. For instance, in personal protection,
Right.
in your nighttime, and you don't want the flash.
You don't want the flash. Flash is bad. So what I'm trying to do is get to 1,100 feet a second on this 200 grain bullet with a low flash powder. So I'm not there yet. I have some stuff to test, and this night shoot may be the perfect opportunity to shoot and record some of this at night, because you'll see a muzzle flash that's like insane. It's like 2 feet wide. Now, what that does basically is it creates your pupil. It causes your pupil to contract, and it gets rid of your night vision, your own natural night vision.
Where your pupils are already contracted. So
right. So no, your pupils are wide open. So with the flash, they'll contract, and then you won't be able to see very, very well. So that's the kind of the game changer. So, well, you may ask, well, Alex, why do you need that? Well, if you're going hunting and you're shooting at low light, if you defend yourself at low light, if you look at some of the videos where bears attack, a lot of these 44 mags and 45 Colt will create a lot of smoke and a lot of flash. And as you turn on your light to look at your game animal, you can't see through the fog. the smoke.
Yep, makes sense.
So ideally, you want the minimal amount of that as possible. So that's my goal, is to get the maximum velocity, or really the velocity of 1,100 feet a second. I think it's going to be the perfect mix, because if you create too much chamber pressure, the case will stick to the wall.
How close are you to 1,100 feet?
Okay, so standard pressure is 850, 925. So I got to get 200 feet a second more. That isn't a problem, except the goal is to get to that velocity and not have the case be sticky in the cylinder. The case must be able to slide out with minimal amount of force on the ejector rod, right? So it'd be, boom, it should be out. It shouldn't be stuck in there, or God forbid, the 45 Colt has a very small rim on it, and it could actually strip the rim, and then it's in there, and now the gun don't work. That would be real bad. So ideally, we want something that performs better. So that involves me. I've gotten the revolvers, and what I'm doing is I'm lapping the cylinders, so I'm polishing them. So if you look at them, they're super shiny, like really, really shiny and slick. So when you're considering the dependability on the revolver, unlike an autoloader that can jam during recoil, the only way that you can, so there's a couple of points of failure potentially with a revolver, which are much less likely. Number one, some revolvers will have a rough inside wall in the cylinder.
And what causes that?
Because the machinery, as it's drilling out each one of the holes, is wearing out. So, or sometimes the chamfer, they vibrate a little bit, right? So this causes imperfection in the cylinders. There are some cylinders I don't have the gauges to do that, but I'm going to buy them. But there's a gauge that's called a slug, and you basically put it in each cylinder, and you can tell what the actual inside dimension of the cylinder is.
Fancy.
So when I had that other revolver worked on by Tyler Gunworks, they re-drilled all of this and on the insides of all of the cylinders, so they're all the same size. So you don't have different pressures during each explosion when each cartridge goes out, right? And they also took the barrel out and reset the gap between the cylinder and the forcing cone. And they machined this so that the entire surface of the cylinder is parallel to the forcing cone. That's really important, because sometimes you'll get powder buildup, and if your cone, well, first of all, that's not good for accuracy, right? First of all, if it's not even, but the second part is if that gap is too tight or it is uneven in between the cylinders, as it starts to rotate, eventually it gets stuck and it won't rotate, so it won't fire. So I made him give me a gap that was generous enough that I could shoot it a few times and not have to worry about it getting stuck. I didn't want that. I probably gave up a little bit of reliability, a little bit of accuracy, but I wanted the reliability. So once you do that, then the next question is, can you polish the insides of the cylinders so that when you put your polished brass in there, if you put a hot load in, you won't have it stick because of the roughness of the cylinder. So if when I hand load one of these 357 Magnums, or in this case a 38, I want to also polish this case and make sure it's nice and smooth and doesn't have any gouges or anything, because it'll transfer that.
Reduce the risk of failure.
Right, exactly. So if you have clean ammunition going into a clean, polished cylinder, really
good.
You should be. You could depend your life on that gun, no problem. So if you have a 44 Magnum and you're in bear country, that's the level of reliability that you have to have.
Oh yeah, no doubt. You don't want anything to fail, right? And that's the difference between somebody carrying like a semi-auto versus a wheel gun.
Right, and that's the reason that so many people would prefer to carry a wheel gun over a revolver, even though the 10 millimeter has become very popular.
And it's reliable. It's just you're looking for however many percentage points more reliable you can get.
Well, so there's other issues, right? There's environmental issues too. So, will your Glock shoot in -15 weather after you've been wearing it in, going down the tundra on a snow machine for an hour or for 3 hours? Because everything on you is frozen. So, ideally you put it inside of your coat, and at least you got the body heat, right? But like if you have your cell phone and your cell phone's out, or you have your radio, your walkie, and it's out in the cold, your battery dies. So, there's the cold affects things. It's brutal. So something that is mechanically less complicated, like a revolver, probably, that's the real reason why more people choose it. And obviously you also have the option of having a more powerful cartridge. The highest that you'll have on an autoloader is going to be a 10 mil. Yeah, I get it. There's 44 Grizzlies, but those guns are so exotic that's not even on most people's radar. So most people will have a 44 Magnum revolver, or they'll have a 454 Casull, or they'll have, if they're crazy, they'll have a 475 line ball thing that you're going to give yourself a fucking concussion because the gun will hit you in the forehead because it's so
don't want that.
Don't want that. So I think my opinion is I've come to this terms. I've come to this opinion, and it really is because different people tell you different stuff. I think that on the highest end of a wheel gun for self-defense against bear or dangerous game animals, it would probably be a 454 Casull, probably with a barrel no smaller than 4 inches. And the reason I say that is because the recoil on everything bigger than that. I have a 500 Smith. 500 Smith weighs a lot. It's got a long barrel. It takes a long time to get it out and get it ready into action. I think that you're going to have to be able to pull your trail gun, your backup gun, really quickly because it's going to be 0 to an emergency in
less than a second.
In seconds, yeah. So when I say, hey, this is a great trail gun, a 357 Magnum with solid core bullets, so I would use that type of a bullet in a 357 Magnum load. I wouldn't use hollow points. Hollow points are for stopping human beings. They are not for stopping animals. You need a solid, hard cast bullet. So the likelihood of you actually having the gun on you is much higher if the gun's easy to carry.
Yeah.
So on the small end, on the kind of on the low end of the spectrum, I would probably start at 357 Magnum. I wouldn't start at 9mm. I'd start here. This can get you a 1,300 feet a second, maybe even 1,400 feet a second load with a 150 grain bullet. You can even go 180 grain bullet. So that is, in my opinion, your starting point. And you're going to say, hey, listen, I'm going to be in and out of four-wheelers. I'm going to probably take a float plane there. I'm going to, I just don't want to carry a heavy-ass gun, but I want to carry something.
That's it.
That's it. This, a 4-incher, something like that. But 357 Magnum would be your starting point, in my opinion. I have gone to Alaska, and I wore all day long my 454 Casull, 7-inch barrel. Was it fun? No, it wasn't fun to carry all day.
It gave you peace of mind.
But I know that the bear will be dead, no problem. No problemo, 1 shot, 2 shots if I had to. And that's what I wanted because we were definitely in bear country. We saw the bears. Bears were there. There's bears everywhere. And, I never even took it out of the holster, thank God. But I did want that peace of mind. Like if I'm taking my kids and my family, I'm going to take the Casull. Mm-hmm. I just am. I don't want to fuck around. I don't want to. I want to. If I only got 1 shot at the animal, the Casull will do its job.
Better make it count.
It's got to count. On kind of like the next in line, if you will, is the Model 29 Smith & Wesson. I've got a 6-inch barrel that carries. It's such a light gun. It carries like a much smaller gun. But I have the full sight radius of a 6-inch barrel. Not a 7.5, not as big and bulky as the Ruger Red Hawk, but it will do everything that I want it to do. I bang steel with these cast bullets at 100 yards, and the plate looks like it's going to fall over. It's a solid hit. I feel very confident that that is enough for bear if I need to. And the fact that I can recover and probably put 2 or 3 shots on the bear gives me the peace of mind. Mm-hmm. I'll normally have 2 reloaders with me, and I'm good. I have a chest holster for it. It's a good setup. I don't have that here because this is more of a CCW kind of conversation that's gone on to bear country, but I digress. So all of this stuff here is really the beginning of the CCW world.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. This is actually on my current CCW. I just qualified with it for my renewal, so I'm going to put that on. I removed. I have a 4-inch 45 Colt that was on my previous CCW, so I'm bringing that off the roster, and I'm going to put this in.
Right on. What was the choice for doing that?
Because that gun is so nice that I don't want to carry it in the field. Like, I want to just keep it. It's in really good shape.
It's because the gun that you're taking off was too nice.
Yeah. It's a 45 Colt, and I worked up kind of a nice load for it. But the gun itself is just too nice to like beat it up with the holster and all that stuff. And I don't carry it like in the city. That would be my trail backup gun, like when I'm on the quads or whatever. So, and then, when I go out of state, when I leave California, the other CCWs that I have, it doesn't matter. I can carry it again. It's not a big deal. So if I go to Colorado and I'm going to carry a backup gun, I'll carry, any of the other more powerful guns. This is my in the city type of deal. Type of setup. So
in the city setup, I love it.
In the city setup. So, we got to deal within the parameters of the law. And I mean, they'll let you do a 44 Magnum on your CCW if you want. But
well, I'll tell you what. I mean, it's likely that we're gonna we could probably spend a whole episode on each of these guns that we have in front of us. So thank you very much for sharing them. And I tell you what, man, it's been a long time, Langosta.
Yeah, it's been too long. So we're gonna have some more Wheel Gun Wednesday episodes. Got some more guns that haven't been exposed to the folks. So we're gonna share that. We're gonna share these loads, and I think I'm gonna also do some side content where after I verify that load doesn't blow up with the gun, I'm gonna play with it a little bit more and see if I can get some accuracy out of it. Then I'm gonna see like, hey, can you shoot in 2025 the same as you could shoot in 1886 or whatever this gun was made? So how
has accuracy
changed?
Evolved?
Yeah, evolved since 1800. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm curious to see if this is going to be 5 or 6 inches at 10 yards, or if it's going to be
I can't wait to see it in action.
One ragged hole. So we'll see.
But again, it's been nice kind of catching up with you, our audience at Rifles, Rods, and Broads. Langosta, Brian, myself, back in studio. Again, the last time we were together, it was live after our surf fishing tournament with Phil Friedman and Paulina Fish Life. So, Langosta, nice to see you, man.
Same to you, buddy.
Come on the fishing trip.
Let's do that.
Okay.
All right, man. Bye, guys.
Aloha.